Hello everybody, welcome, this is Catch Up, and in this video I'm going to talk about the differences between the Harry Potter books and the Harry Potter movies, obviously starting with Philosopher's Stone. That was a mouthful. I took points while reading the book, so the points are chronologically. The motorcycle that Hagrid drove when he first brought Harry into Privet Drive was given to him by Sirius Black. When they went to the zoo, Dudley brought his best friend, I forgot what his name was, but they were basically three children. Not Dudley and Harry, there was Dudley's best friend. And they both fell in the boa's habitat, not just Dudley. Remember when Harry was receiving the Hogwarts letters and the Dursleys left so they couldn't find them? Well, they didn't exactly go instantly to that island on the sea. They first went to a hotel, then they passed the forest, maybe tried to find some hut there in the forest, then they went to the island on the sea. In the first movie, when Hagrid told Harry that he couldn't use magic was because he was expelled in his third year. Hagrid took Harry to buy from Diagon Alley. First they went for the robes. And it's not shown in the movie, but there he first met Malfoy. And Hagrid gave Harry Hedwig, the owl, while he was buying the robes, not while he was buying the wand. At Ollivander's, Harry didn't just try 2 wands, he tried enough to fill the counter. So basically couldn't find one that suited him really. It is also mentioned that Harry wanted solid gold cauldrons. After buying what he needed, Harry went back to the Dursleys because it was just the end of July. He still had a month to go to the station. They didn't go immediately after. Also, when Harry was on platform 9 3/4, he saw passing by Neville with his grandmother. Harry couldn't lift his trunk alone in the train, so Fred and George helped him, although it is not shown in the movies, and they asked him who he was, and then went and told the rest. In the books, it was not Hermione who noticed the dirt on Ron's nose. It was his mother who tried to rub it off. Mrs. Weasley also gave the idea to Fred and George to blow up a toilet, something they had never done before, and they thanked her for it. The first one to open Harry and Ron's compartment was Neville, to ask them about whether or not they have seen Trevor, his toad, because he had lost it. Then afterwards came Hermione, that met Neville there, basically asking the same thing, I think. When they arrived at Hogwarts, it was Hagrid who found Trevor, and he was outside the castle. Hermione was not the first one to use the sorting hat, which by the way sang before, which is awesome. They should have left it in the movie. A singing hat, why not? The ghost Peeves was never mentioned in the movies, and it's a shame too. But then I found somewhere that they did have Peeves. They did have an actor for Peeves, but died, unfortunately, the actor. And they had to take out the bits where Peeves was because they couldn't continue, so. Also, the night they found Fluffy was not because they were just going to the common room and the stairs decided to turn. They were up because of a duel that Draco promised Harry, and also Neville was with them. Something not mentioned in the movies is that there are 700 Quidditch fouls that are known. Lee Jordan, the commentator, during the Quidditch games, the Gryffindors, that one. He is Fred and George's friend. Yes, he looks like a first year, but I guess he isn't. This is actually really trivial, like during the game with Slytherin in Quidditch, Harry was fouled and was given a free shot, nothing big. When Harry's broomstick was jinxed during the game, Hagrid pointed out that only powerful dark magic could interfere with a broom. It is now Christmas time and Hagrid was carrying a Christmas tree, and the trio asked Hagrid who Nicholas Flamel was, Harry tried to enter the restricted section once before he even got the cloak of invisibility, but he got told off by the librarian. The chess pieces can talk! Apart from the cloak, which was probably sent by Dumbledore, it was sent by Dumbledore, passed on from his father, he also received a small flute from Hagrid, 50 pence from the Dursleys, and some stuff from Mrs. Weasley. So the cloak wasn't the only gift. There was a Christmas dinner and Hagrid kissed McGonagall on the cheek and she smiled. In the Mirror of Very Sad, Harry didn't just see his parents, but at least he saw 10 people, which are described as also his family. Dumbledore told Harry that he can become invisible without the need of the cloak. In the movies, Dumbledore also told Harry that he shouldn't go looking for the mirror again, but in the books he told them that if ever comes across it again, he will now be prepared on what to do. They first read about Flamel on the chocolate frog wizard card, and they were in the common room, not the library, so trivial stuff. There was also a Quidditch game against, I don't remember exactly who, anyway, that only lasted for 5 minutes. Harry was so fast that he just instantly grabbed the snitch to end the game quickly. It was also refereed by Snape. Snape's talk about loyalties with Quirrell. Yeah, that didn't happen exactly in the corridors. That happened in the Forbidden Forest, and Harry followed Snape on his broom with the cloak on to the forest. Norbert wasn't just a baby when he was sent to Romania. He grew fairly big and one day bit Ron. It was Harry and Hermione who helped Norbert get away to Romania, involving Ron's brother Charlie, who worked with dragons. There were his friends passing over Hogwarts and decided to give them the dragon. It was not Dumbledore who sent him to Romania. It was also Filch who found Harry and Hermione wandering about at night, and it was Professor McGonagall who found Malfoy. Neville was also caught out of bed by McGonagall. At that time, Ron was at the hospital wing because the dragon had bit him, so he couldn't have been found outside of bed. The detention in the Forbidden Forest. First teams were Hagrid, Harry and Hermione, the Triple H. And the other team was Neville, Draco and Fang. Then something happened and they switched teams to how we know them in the movies. So Ron never entered the Forbidden Forest until they wanted to see Aragog in the next book. In the movie there is just one centaur named Firenze. In the book there are another two mentioned named Ronan and Bane. Firenze gave Harry a ride on his back, which for a centaur is taboo, you cannot do it, because they would classify you as a mule then. When it was time for them to enter the trapdoor that Fluffy was guarding, he didn't attack them like in the movie. They basically had Harry's flute that Hagrid had given him and just started to play it, and he remained asleep. But in the movie, you want some action, something to... the viewer, Hermione never got caught by the devil's snare, she managed to escape it, and she just watched the other two struggle. In the room where there were the flying keys, it was not just Harry who flew on the broom, they all did. There were 3 brooms in that room, so they all flew. During chess, the big chess, Ron did use Harry and Hermione, they did move, but in the movie they just stood in the same place. I don't know how he could have done that without moving the pieces. But anyway, in the movie they didn't move, in the book they did. In the movie, Hermione didn't stay with Ron when he was passed out, she went ahead with Harry. There are 2 traps that are not mentioned in the movie that are mentioned in the book. One is Quirrell's troll trap, but they found him almost dead, I think. I don't know, there was a lot of blood involved. And there is also Snape's logic puzzle, which apparently was a very difficult puzzle, although Hermione did manage to solve it instantly. But logic is something that a wizard doesn't really have. Well, if there's magic, where's logic? After the puzzle, Hermione went back to Ron and took him to the hospital wing again. Poor Ron. In the books it is mentioned that Quirrell tied Harry with ropes. Also, it doesn't say very clearly in the movies, but it says really clearly in the book because he confessed. It was Quirrell who tried to rob Gringotts in the beginning of the story. Although you can guess the movie. Harry did not kill Professor Quirrell, but he did touch him. Basically then Harry just fainted and Dumbledore came at the right moment and pulled Quirrell off of him. Voldemort left him there to die. Hermione and Ron visited Harry in the hospital wing. because Harry wasn't allowed to leave. In the movie we are shown that Harry left the hospital wing and met the two in the corridor, you remember? But it didn't happen that way. At the end of the story, the trio said their goodbyes in King Cross Station, where Harry also said that he would have a very fun summer threatening Dudley with magic. Okay, so those are all the points that I found. If you found something that was not here or something was horribly wrong, just comment below in the comments below. That is it for this video, thank you for watching. I know the differences are because the movie was based on the novel, not exact replica motion picture of the book. But, those are the differences. Until next time, bye!